evening. You are watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. First, the headlines. His Highness Sayyid Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Saeed discusses with the envoy of the Russian president the existing bilateral relations between the two countries and means of supporting cooperation aspects in several domains. The Sultanate and Russia confirmed their role in supporting all peaceful endeavors to strengthen cooperation and dialogue in boosting foundations of justice and stability in the world. The first Middle East Cystic Fibrosis Conference reveals around 180 cases of cystic fibrosis are recorded in the Sultanate. And more than 6.6 billion Omani riyals is the value of real estate trading in the Sultanate last year. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. His Highness Sayyid Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Saeed, Deputy Prime Minister of the Council of Ministers, received today His Excellency Mikhail Leonidovich, envoy of the Russian President for Middle East and Africa, Deputy Foreign Minister of Russia, and his delegation. His Excellency conveyed greetings and best wishes of His Excellency President Vladimir Putin and the government of Russia to His Majesty Sultan Qaboos. During the meeting, they reviewed the existing bilateral relations between the two friendly countries and means of supporting cooperation aspects between them in several domains, in addition to activating their joint agreements. They further reviewed latest developments and endeavors exerted to convergence of views on many current issues in order to support security and stability on regional and international arenas. On his turn, His Excellency, the envoy of His Excellency, the Russian President, expressed the importance of this visit on the level of exchanging views and consultations to strengthen cooperation between the two countries, and confirmed his country's appreciation for the wise policy adopted by the Sultanate in its relations with the world countries. His Highness Sayyid Fahd informed the guest to convey greetings of His Majesty the Sultan to His Excellency President Vladimir Putin of Russia. The meeting was attended by His Excellency Sayyid Badr bin Hamad Al Busaidi, Secretary General of the Ministry responsible for Foreign Affairs, and His Excellency Dr. Anwar Bek Fadilyanov, Ambassador of Russia accredited to the Sultanate. The Sultanate and Russia affirmed their role in supporting all peaceful efforts meant to strengthen cooperation and understanding, and highlighted the importance of dialogue in boosting foundations of justice, peace, security and stability in the world. That was mentioned during the 6th session of the political consultations between the two countries, which was held in the General Diwan of the Foreign Ministry today. The meeting was presided over from the Sultanate's side by His Excellency Sayyid Badr bin Hamad Al Busaidi, Secretary General of the Ministry responsible for Foreign Affairs, whereas the Russian side by His Excellency Mikhail Leonidovich, envoy of the Russian President for Middle East and Africa, Deputy Foreign Minister of Russia. The two sides also discussed different aspects of bilateral cooperation between the two friendly countries and ways of enhancing them to serve their joint interest. They further discussed a number of visions and points of view on regional and international issues of mutual concern. The first Middle East Cystic Fibrosis SFAC conference, organized by the Middle East Cystic Fibrosis Association in collaboration with the College of Medicine and Health Science, SQU, and Oman Respiratory Society, commenced this morning under the patronage of His Excellency Dr. Ali bin Talib Al Hinai, Ministry of Health Undersecretary of Planning Affairs. More details in the following report with Abdullah bin Ahmed Al Rubi'i.
With the goal of increasing awareness, sharing knowledge and strengthening collaboration between the regional experts of physicians and other healthcare professionals in order to provide the best of the latest treatment for patients with cystic fibrosis, the Middle East Cystic Fibrosis Association members agreed in their last meeting in Istanbul to hold this first scientific conference here in Muscat.
Dr. Adel Harbi, I'm the current president of Middle East Cystic Fibrosis Association, and also the current president of Saudi Pediatric Pulmonary Association. It's my pleasure to be in Oman and Muscat today, and actually we are conducting our first conference for the Middle East Cystic Fibrosis Association. This association is a new established society actually concerned of taking care of cystic fibrosis disease. Just to let you know that cystic fibrosis is an inherited disease characterized by recurrent respiratory problems, frequent admissions, and usually affecting babies born to parents who are a carrier carrying the gene. This disease, if it's treated, if it is left untreated, the outcome is very poor.
I'm a pediatric resident, and as a pediatrician attending a conference like this, talking about the cystic fibrosis updates, an international conference that have speakers from all over the world talking about the updates of the management of the cystic fibrosis, help us as a pediatrician to improve our management for our cystic fibrosis patients.
Representatives from various countries in the region and international renowned experts will discuss in their 3 days various means of collaboration and quality management in cystic fibrosis that will lead to favorable outcomes. The quality of care for individuals with the CF has become a focus at several levels: patients, center, regional, national and international.
And being here in such a conference, it's very helpful for me and for my future career.
Cystic fibrosis is a disease that results from a defect in a gene which is caused by genetic mutations. The defective gene disrupts the movement of salt in different parts of the body. It causes thick and sticky mucus to build up and clog certain organs. It's worth mentioning that Middle East Cystic Fibrosis Association is a community of clinical professionals committed to improving the survival and quality of life for people born with cystic fibrosis in the Middle Eastern region. They promote quality of care and education among clinicians, allied health professionals, patients and families, and work to increase support, awareness and access to necessary medication and treatment. To follow up this subject, joining us in the studio, Dr. Hussein bin Ali Al-Kindi, Head of Child Health in the College of Medicine and Health Sciences, Sultan Qaboos University and Sultan Qaboos University Hospital. Dr. Hussein, welcome to the studio and a very good evening to you. What would you like to tell us about this particular conference in general?
Well, this conference is bringing together experts in this field of a rare disease, cystic fibrosis, coming from the Middle East, and also we invited guests from overseas all the way to America and Europe, so that we put together our expertise and try to improve the care of these patients.
Okay. Could you tell the audience what is cystic fibrosis and how it is diagnosed?
Cystic fibrosis, in a very simple terminology, is a disease that is an inherited disease that affects many organs in the body, but mainly it shows itself in the inability for the child to put weight with time, and also they will have chronic diarrhea, plus their respiratory system, so they will have problem with their breathing, they will have chronic cough, they will produce a lot of phlegm, and then the phlegm is becoming infected, and with time they are weak, they are unable to breathe, and if they are not treated, unfortunately they will be dying very soon in their early life.
And what is then the latest that is going to be discussed here in Oman?
Well, there's a lot of things going on in research about this type of diseases, and we have put together experts from different fields. So basic science, how you diagnose this disease, from genetic point of view, from clinical point of view, and also we have experts who are specialized in how to feed these patients so that they have normal weight, so nutritionists. And also very important, also physiotherapists, how to clear the chest from this sticky mucus secretions, and as well as pharmacists, and very different specialties are all coming together to put their force together.
What is the percentage of people who have been affected with the cystic fibrosis here in the Sultanate of Oman and in the Middle East?
Well, this disease is more common in the West, but we have realized over the past few years that also it's around, but it has not been picked up because it mimics other diseases. So patient can be labeled as asthma or chronic cough or nutritional deficiency. But now, because we realize that there is means of diagnosing it, we are picking up more and more patients. We already have diagnosed over 180 children. Some of them unfortunately passed away because the disease was very advanced. But nowadays, because we are more vigilant, we pick up anything between 5 to 10 patients every year around Oman.
Right. Is there any research that Oman has conducted that is going to be presented in the conference?
Yeah, we have done a research where we wanted to identify the causing mutations, which is different from the one elsewhere. This has been discussed in today's presentation. And also, we will be also discussing about our experience in treating these patients, especially with the new therapy which is available.
Dr. Hussain, we would like to thank you very much for this short interview, but I believe the audience will benefit from it, and we wish you all the best and the best outcome of the conference. So
thank you very much, and I thank you for interviewing me and making this more publicized.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
The Sleep Disorder Unit in the Sultan Qaboos University conducted a study in this field to identify the problems facing the patients having problems during their sleep. The Sleep Disorder Clinic receives around 400 patients annually suffering from sleep apnea, insomnia, and other sleep disorders. The diagnosis process of the patients include examinations of sleep stages, testing the level of oxygen in blood, and after that, the data collected will be analyzed by an expert. Then the doctor specialized in this field will prepare and report and prescribe the appropriate treatment for the patient. More than 6.6 billion Omani riyals is the value of real estate trading in the Sultanate last year. Real estate activity indices revealed that the fees collected for all real estate deals reached 65 million Omani riyals. The indices also disclosed that more than 230,000 ownership deeds were issued, out of which 1,900 ownership deeds were issued for Gulf citizens. Still to come in our news bulletin. The Daily Telegraph nominates the Sultanate within the best 10 touristic destinations to visit in the world in 2017. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. The good relations binding the Sultanate and Japan were reviewed during the meeting held between Lieutenant General Ahmed bin Harith al-Nabhani, Chief of Staff of Sultan's Armed Forces, and Admiral Katsutoshi Kawano, Chief of Staff of Japan's Self-Defense Forces, who is currently visiting the Sultanate. During the meeting, they exchanged points of view in various military fields and discussed a number of matters of common concern. Admiral Katsutoshi Kawano, Chief of Staff of Japan's Self-Defense Forces, visited the Command and Staff College in Muaskar Beit al-Falaj. He toured corridors and facilities of the college and was briefed about its system and modern IT techniques. His Excellency Mikhail Leonidovich, envoy of the Russian President for Middle East and Africa, Deputy Foreign Minister of Russia, and his delegation visited the National Museum in Muscat, where he got acquainted with the different facilities of the museum, which showcased the unique history of Oman. The Oman Shipping Company plays a great role in the in-country value related to oil and gas industry in the Sultanate. In this regard, an inspection tour was organized by the company in cooperation with the Oman Liquefied Natural Gas Company to shed light on the nature of the work in this field, as well as to get acquainted with the Omani youth working in Oman Shipping Company. The statistics pointed out that the Omanization reached 85%. The company operates around 51 ships to more than 200 ports around the world. It also includes training programs for the youth so as to improve their knowledge and skills on the work environment. The Daily Telegraph nominated the Sultanate among the 10 best touristic destinations in the world that worth visit in 2017. The newspaper highlighted the touristic potentials in the Sultanate, considering it one of the countries that is constantly keen to preserve the heritage and at the same time develop its infrastructure. The newspaper also threw the light on the deep-rooted traditions of the Omani society and the warm hospitality of the Omanis that impressed the foreign tourists. It also pointed out that the Sultanate enjoys beautiful architecture that reflected on buildings and houses. It also mentioned that the Sultanate enjoy breathtaking scenic environment like mountains, sands and oases. Under the theme, the wetlands to reduce risks, the Sultanate marked World Wetlands Day, which falls on the 2nd of February every year. The celebration is organized by the Ministry of Environment and Climate Affairs in cooperation with Oman Shipping Company. The celebration included a number of activities that were held at Qurum Nature Reserve in the Governorate of Muscat, which is considered one of the main wetlands in the Sultanate. The event came to emphasize on the role of wetlands to help prevent flooding and stabilize climatic conditions. A great number of citizens and residents took part in the event, which called upon society members to preserve the environment. Now for the general weather forecast around the Sultanate. Cloudy to partly cloudy skies will prevail over the northern governorates with chances of scattered rains. The rest of the Sultanate will have clear to partly cloudy skies with chances of scattered rains as well. Winds will be southeasterly, light to moderate. Seas will be slight with a maximum wave height of 1 meter. This is the Sultanate of Oman television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. His Highness Sayyid Fahd bin Mahmoud Al Saeed discusses with the envoy of the Russian president the existing bilateral relations between the two countries and means of supporting cooperation aspects in several domains. The Sultanate and Russia confirmed their role in supporting all peaceful endeavors to strengthen cooperation and dialogue in boosting foundations of justice and stability in the world. The first Middle East Cystic Fibrosis Conference reveals around 180 cases of cystic fibrosis are recorded in the Sultanate. And more than 6.6 billion Omani riyals is the value of real estate trading in the Sultanate last year. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, it's good night.